What's up, everybody? Today we have our other diminished, or our other whole tone scale, augmented scale, if you will, which is our D flat, E flat, F, G, A, B natural variety. So these scales, in conjunction with your diminished scales and your chromatic scales, are pretty much the building blocks of all of what I like to call the linear scales, the angular scales. Something like blues scales that have these kind of third leaps, harmonic minor, pentatonic scales, not so much. But as far as linear scales go, augmented, diminished, and chromatic scales are the fundamental building blocks. So today we're going to do that. So how did I do that at the beginning? Let's get to it. So once we get to our open C sharp, I'll play E flat pretty much the same way that you'd always play E flat with the palm keys. And then for F, I like to use the G sharp with the high F sharp key in order to play altissimo, or in order to play the palm F. So that's a good substitute. I talked about using this fingering before, but it is exactly like G sharp, but you just add the high F sharp key. And then to go to G, all you do is just lift 2, 3 in the G sharp key, and then you leave the 1 down, still holding down the high F sharp key. So it's exactly like going from G sharp to B natural, back and forth, but you just hold the high F sharp key down. So instead of hold the high F sharp key down, and then you got F to G. It's a real easy, real simple thing that you can do. And then for A, in this case, I just do the 2, 3 and the G sharp key, what I normally call a vented G sharp. Vented in my terminology means first finger up from whatever the fingering is. So vented G sharp, 2, 3 G sharp key, first finger up. In order to play the B natural, I just add the E flat key, or what I like to call -1, to that fingering. Now you can play the B natural with just the E flat key by itself, but that pitch is going to have a tendency to want to ride really sharp. So keeping 2 and 3 down when playing that really helps to center that note. Then for C sharp or D flat, 1. So you overblow your B natural fingering, and then you get that altissimo D flat or C sharp. So then from there you go to E flat, and for this fingering I like to go, I know before I talked about using the C natural, but in this case I wouldn't do that. In this case I just go to all open in order to play the E flat. That makes it really, really easy going to the altissimo F, which is exactly split F. Split in my terminology means the fingering with the 2 finger up. So you got 1, 3, and 4, or it's exactly like F with the 2 finger up in order to play the altissimo F. For G, I go to a vented G. See how that vented and split terminology works out? I just go to 2 and 3 in order to play G. So it's just like G, but with the first finger up. So then for A, I just overblow the B natural key again in order to play the double altissimo A. And then from there, I almost always use the E flat key in conjunction with the C key in order to play the double altissimo B natural. So I use the same fingering for the altissimo B natural, E flat key, and either one of these keys or both of them to keep that pitch from riding high. So I could say -1, which is what I like to call the E flat key by itself, with the C key in order to play altissimo B and also double altissimo B. So from there we got our D flat, which is the front key with the high F sharp key. And that's all there is to that. Really simple. So here we go. I'll play that for you again. Keep them coming. Thanks a lot.